Okay, guys, so before we start, do you have any questions regarding the previous lesson last week, examining the social life, about the definitions?
ايوه انا عندي سؤال
Yes.
بس بالنسبة للكويز يعني هو
As
نحن
long as يا عبد الرحمن I'm talking English, you must talk in English, please. Yes?
ما فيني اتكلم يعني ولا
Sorry?
اكمل؟
Do you hear me?
ايوه
Yes,
ايوه
go
ايوه
on.
ايوه
Go on.
ايوه ايوه بس عندي سؤال يعني هو الكويز حندرسه من الشيت ولا من الكتاب ولا من اي طريقة؟
You're still talking in Arabic, عبد الرحمن. Okay, عبد الرحمن, listen up.
From where
ماشي.
will study from
And
the
this
sheet,
is
from textbook, from Google, from where?
from Google. You're gonna study from Google? Okay, guys,
Yes,
for all
sometimes
of
I
you,
study from Google.
do you see the assignment?
No.
Okay. I have already uploaded the practice sheets in the course material. If
Okay.
you notice this practice sheet, so please raise your hand. Show me your hand, please, guys. So the majority. Okay, thank you very much. There is no need to continue. Okay, hands down. Okay, guys, so inshallah, this is gonna be our routine. By the end of every week, when we are done with the lesson, I will upload the practice sheets. Of course, if you notice, it's unanswered. So you have the chance to answer it. And if you notice, it's a Word document. So you can simply edit it and write down your answers. Okay? By the next week, I will upload to you the model answers for these questions. So you can simply study for the quiz or even for the exam. So I'm gonna give you some time. You can study the lesson, answer the practice sheet questions. Then I will upload at the same place. I will upload to you the model answer. And inshallah, next week, we're gonna have a quiz for the first lesson, examining social life. So our quiz next week will be about the first lesson, the one that I had already uploaded the practice sheets for it. Is it clear for all of you?
Yes. It's so clear. Yes.
Okay, any questions regarding the lesson, the previous one, the last week? Have you studied the lesson? Or you didn't even bother yourself to see the presentation?
مستر أنا عملت البرزنتيشن بس اللي حضرتك بعتها في الأساينمنت قريتها.
Yes, and in the same place next to the presentation, you're gonna see the practice sheets.
لا
Some
دول أنا ما
questions.
شفتهمش بس هشوفهم
Some
بعدين أحطهم.
questions regarding the lesson.
أوكي.
And inshallah, the quiz will be out of these questions. So, our new lesson, guys. Are you ready?
أيوة مستر.
Okay. It's the development of sociology. Last lesson, the previous one, we have already seen the definition of the most familiar social sciences. Our main interest in this course, of course, will be sociology. So we will start. Who's asking me for the control? Okay. Can you still see the sharing screen?
No.
Yes.
Okay, let me see what's going on. So here is it. I think it's clear now. Survival of the fittest.
Yes.
But of course, survival of the fittest is not our title. Our title for the second lesson will be development of sociology. Okay, guys, for this quote, survival of the fittest. It's a theory. Can you tell me something about it? Have you ever heard this definition or this theory before? Survival of the fittest? It's regarding the evolution theory. Who can give me a hint here? Abdurrahman Muhammad.
Yes. بس يعني it was
By
in
the way, if you wish, you can simply turn on your cameras while talking. And of course, make sure that you have some kind of a background at your back, like a wall or something. Okay, Abdurrahman, go on.
it was in the biology the animals that compete, so they fight each other for the survival for the fittest يعني who the stronger.
So the strongest animal has the right to exist, right?
That's one theory, and the other theory it was about the evolution. It should be fittest to the environment, so it evolved to the environment around.
Okay, thank you, Abdurrahman. Anybody else want to add something? Abdurrahman Osama, do you want to add something?
Yes, it's just like we can apply it. I will answer the question like how did one early socialist? I believe he thought that like the poor people are like animals. The people that survive are the fittest يعني. Because it's not the survival of the of the strongest, it is the fittest. The fittest in biology means the one who can reproduce fastest or better يعني.
Okay, Abdurrahman, I think you are talking about the lesson here. So guys, one extreme sociologist, he simply had a weird theory, a strange theory from his own point of view. Later on, we're going to discuss this in details, but يعني, the main title, he simply thought that the poor people or the weak citizens, the weak members of the society do not have the right to exist. We should eliminate them in order to have a healthy nation or a healthy society. Do you think he's making some sense from his theory, survival of the fittest?
No.
Why do you think so? You are Abdurrahman? Who said no? You are Abdurrahman?
Me, Malik.
Please show me your hand before talking, because while sharing my screen, I cannot see the team's interface. طيب Abdurrahman Malik. Okay. What's your comment?
Said his view
Malik,
is
sorry.
wrong.
His theories and his view is wrong. Why do you think?
I mean, the poor people, they're the result of the rich people. The rich people probably always they don't help the poor people, so that's why they're poor and they're living in injustice basically. So if the rich help them, they'll be like them and there'll be equality and there's no like a problem in killing them.
Killing them. Okay, thank you, Malik. It's a point of view, of course. Yusuf Ali?
Actually,
Yusuf,
sir, actually, when trying to talk mainly about the theory survival for the fittest, we here means that animals who survive the environment. But concerning the word poverty, there should be human rights. It's not actually like survival for the fittest. There should be human rights that controls the system, that actually supplies the people with food, with water, with shelter. Not, it's not like a competition. It's not like an animal to animal relationship or predator to prey. There should be human rights actually.
thank you, Yusuf. It's an important point of view. Abdurrahman Osama?
I think that like the poor people are very important to the society because most of the jobs or most of the people are like in the poverty line. For example, if you talk about most of the world, lots of the people are farmers, are craftsmen. They're very important for the functioning of society, mainly the division of labor.
Thank you. Omar Sharif. Omar, why do you think we have poor people in the society? What are the factors that led to poverty?
Because there are people that steal the money in higher levels.
Steal the money in higher levels. So I think you mean corruption.
Yes,
So corruption leads to poverty
of course, in every country.
in every single country. Yasin Mahmoud.
مستر عمال يقول لي موبايله فيه مشاكل وبتاع مش عارف يسمع حد
He can't hear or even talk. طيب, use your laptop. You do not have even a tab.
مستر خلاص ظبطت الموضوع على الكمبيوتر.
Okay, Yasin, why do you think we have poor people in the society?
Some people that doesn't know any في two reasons. The first reason, like Omar said, that some people from higher levels steal the money, and other people, the poor people that doesn't want to work.
Okay, طب before work, Yasin, let's have a look at the educational level. Yeah, in order to have a good job, first of all, you must have a degree.
He
At
doesn't work.
least a school degree.
He couldn't, because can be because his father was poor. He couldn't go to school like this, where he
But
didn't.
I think one of the basic human rights is simply free education, regardless of the quality of this free education. But every single country in the world, I think, provides some kind of free education to the citizens. Do you agree?
Yes.
Ziad Mustafa. By the way, guys, let me tell you something. Of course, for your assessment, keep it in your mind. And this is for all of the subjects, not for only sociology. For all of the subjects, guys, inshallah, in order to get good marks in your assessment, it's not only for the quiz or for the exam. It's also related to your participation during the live sessions. Okay? Is it clear? Okay, Ziad, I have asked Ziad Mustafa, right? Where is he? Ziad.
Yes.
So no one wanna opens his camera. Okay, Ziad. Why do you think we have poor citizens in the society?
A lot of factors. Education is one of them. Sometimes education is the quality of education is so poor that a person can't get a job after the high school degree. Sometimes it's the unemployment rates. The companies have layoffs or something. Unemployment rates also affected. Sometimes it's brought upon by the person. It's his or herself. They cause themselves to be poor. Substance abuse, crime. Sometimes it's also, as Yasin said and Omar said, it's the big corporations are seizing homes and properties owned by the lower classes.
Okay, thank you. So guys, in order to summarize the most of these reasons or the factors that you had already said, we can simply say that the economy will simply lead to poverty. And of course, corruption will play an important factor or an important role for this issue. So we have poor people in the society. So I want to help to solve this issue or this problem by killing them? Of course, that does not make any sense. Okay, let's go on. During the 1700s and the 1800s over there in Europe, there were major changes happened over there in the European society. We have a lot of revolutions at that time, like the Industrial Revolution, the scientific revolution, and also we have industrial. Who can help me here? I think you studied these issues last year. Industrial revolution, scientific revolution, and
Renaissance.
Renaissance, the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment. Okay, I will remind you guys. Of course, talking about the Industrial Revolution. So the people has to move. And the major interest at the very beginning was farming. So they started to build and develop factories. In order to build factories, they left the countryside and they went to establish some kind of cities or new founded towns, bigger ones, so they can have their own factories. So the people will simply move from the rural societies to the most urban ones, looking for better chances. They want to enhance their way of living in order to earn a lot. So they left the farming business and they went to the factories looking for better jobs. So all of them will start to move at the same time, looking for better lives. Okay. So the result was the number of the people looking for jobs simply outpaced the available jobs. No more jobs for them. So they will go back over there to the farming business. They have already sold their houses and their farms over there. They left everything behind and they went to the cities looking for jobs. Simply they cannot find jobs. What's the result? They will start asking people for money, or they will start to steal from others. Simply, I want to support, sorry, speak up.
Or like borrow and go in a cycle of debt.
Okay, so they want to borrow. How they will simply pay this debt back? They are not working. They will start to steal from each other. The crime ratio will simply increase. And also, there was some kind of housing shortage over there in cities. Not available for all of them. And the crime ratio simply increased. So it was a major shift over there in the European society. People started to talk. What is my right? They will simply start to address the government. I want to work. I want to support my family. What is my right to be a human being? Of course, this will go back to the Enlightenment ideas. Do you remember the Enlightenment ideas? The importance of being human being. What's the benefit I will get to be a citizen in any nation? There are some kind of basic human rights. Try to guess what are the basic human rights. It's general knowledge. It's not related to our issue last year. Yani it's not related. Try to guess what are the basic human rights. Kareem, can you tell me one of the basic human rights?
Yes, homes and
housing,
food and yes, and food and water supplies.
Food and water. So, as being a member in any nation, the government must feed you on daily basis.
Must at least provide a job for me to feed up, or at least provide food in the society.
Okay, a job. You have already said job. So if you do not have the sufficient education or your educational level, it's not good for a specific job, for example. This will be the problem of the government from your point of view?
No, but if there's education, there is no education, while there's also no job. It's the problem of the government.
You had already mentioned something. Type. Why you didn't say yes, education, free education, regardless of the quality of this free education, but the government will support the citizens, or it's some kind of a public service. Anyone living in this country have the right to enter any school, public schools, of course, free education, regardless of the quality of this free education. But education is one of the basic human rights. Okay. Muhammad Ali.
Yes, as Karim said, first of all, education.
Okay.
Secondly, the access of all people of healthcare. All people should have free access to healthcare, regardless of the quality, of course.
Thank you very much. So, education, healthcare, to be treated. If you are sick, you have the right to get the proper treatment. Of course, and regardless of the quality, but at least you will get your treatment. Ziad Mustafa, do you want to add something?
Freedom of belief and opinion.
Freedom of beliefs and opinions. But I think this will make a problem. Of course, yani, theoretically talking, it's a human right.
Yes.
It's a human right. What gonna happen if your opinions are wrong?
We leave the person to be wrong.
Unfortunately, you can simply influence others by your wrong beliefs. You have the right to politely express your ideas or your beliefs. As we have already seen in the movies, if you are against the policy of any government, even over there in the States, they can simply stand in front of the White House with some kind of boards or something, and they can simply write whatever they want to say. I do not like the policy of the president, for example. But of course, it's this offer or this service is not available in most of the countries. You will simply be arrested or jailed for expressing your thoughts if your thoughts were against the public interest. Of course, who will define the public interest? Those who are in authority. So I think by expressing your beliefs, it's an extra addition. It's not one of the basic human rights. Anybody else? So it's only education and medical care. That's it?
Mr. Maybe the right to decent living, to have a decent living standards.
Decent living standards. And of course, these standards will differ from one country to another. And Ziad here, by the way, Ziad had mentioned something about the freedom, liberty, to be a free guy, not simply to express your thoughts freely, but to be a free guy. The individual liberty is one of the basic human rights. By feeling secure and safe, you can simply walking over there in the street at any place at any given time without being afraid. This is safety, individual liberty, and to express your ideas. And of course, the ideas of this Enlightenment era, or the influence of the Enlightenment ideas over there in Europe, had led to two main revolutions this time. The American and what is this?
French.
The
French Revolution, of course, the American and the French Revolution. Of course, these two main revolutions at that time were result out of the influence of the Enlightenment ideas. So we can say, sorry, what happened? So we can say that major shifts happened over there in the European society. economic reasons, when the people left their homes over there in towns and they moved to the cities looking for better lives, better chances, better jobs, and so on. And of course, what really happened over there in cities, that they cannot simply assign a certain job for every single human being. The number of jobs are limited, but the people are too much. The result, that the crime ratio increased. People simply wanna eat and they cannot work, not available jobs. So they went to steal. The crime ratio increased. And the major political changes that happened over there in Europe as a result of the French Revolution and the American one. And the major change that happened over there in the society was the scientific revolution. The scientific revolution over gay guys changed everything, changed their way of thinking. If they have a question regarding any topic, any title in their life, they used to use only two ways of thinking, sorry. And we call it the traditional way of thinking. If they want to answer any question, they can simply use one of these two ways: the church, the religious background, or simply to the ancient scholars' writings. They can simply seek the religious explanation or the ancient scholars' writing. By the ancient scholars, I mean, who can help me here? What do I mean, guys, by the ancient scholars' writings?
The Greek
Greek
Like that.
philosopher.
Philosophers. And these
The
philosophers.
Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Plato. So, of course, if they want to answer any question, they will simply go to the church or to the ancient scholars' writing, even though these answers were wrong, but they do not have any other option. Like the earth is flat. That's it. It's a fact. خلاص, do not use your mind. خلاص, it's flat. Do not use your mind anymore. Do not think about this issue. This is your answer. But after the discovery of the new land, of the new founded land, there was nothing written over there in the church or even in the ancient scholars' writing. So they had concluded a fact. Maybe we didn't get the complete knowledge. Maybe we are using a wrong way of thinking. And they started to invent a new one, a new way of thinking. And they call it the scientific way of thinking by the use of reason. They started to use a reason. Like Abdurrahman said last week when we were talking about this issue, he said about the scientific, and if the sociology want to study a specific issue or a specific phenomena over there in the society, they will use a scientific manner or a systematic way. Of course, by the usage of reason. I have a problem. So I will start to think about this problem. Then I will try to find out the solution. Or I can use the term hypothesis. And I will try to make some kind of experiments on this hypothesis. If proved true, okay, we have got a new theory. If not, I will change my hypothesis and try to think about other possible answers. So they said, why not try to apply this new way of thinking on the society we are living in? So it proved true. It was a good way of thinking, and they approve it in the scientific field. So why not try to apply it in the society we are living in? This was, yani, all of these factors were the reasons they had thought about establishing or inventing a new branch, and they call it sociology. So the society you are living in, is not haphazardly working. It's simply this society must have some kind of rules or patterns. So let's start to think about it. Let's start to assume some hypothesis. Then we're gonna find out if our hypotheses are wrong or we are on the correct path. And here I wanna, do you have any questions? Or it's my turn to ask. If you have any questions regarding this issue, simply be my guest. No questions? So let me ask. What do you think, guys, the major or the main reasons that led to the development of sociology? If I ask Ali, what do you think, Ali, the correct answer can be? Ali Nasser, Sleepy Ali. There is no Ali, right?
انا معاك يا مستر بس قاعد افكر.
Think Ali. By the way, we had already mentioned all the reasons, all the factors that led to the development of sociology. What led the people started to think about the science of the society, how the society is working. Yani somehow, some way, this idea popped up in their minds, or there were some kind of factors or reasons that led to this idea. Nothing happened in Europe at the 1700s and the 1800s. Nothing happened in Europe. Everything was settled down.
Mr. Can I answer?
Okay.
You said it, I think حضرتك قلت الريفولوشنز اللي هو الامريكان ريفولوشن او الاندستريال ريفولوشن. بس اظن.
So the American Revolution and the Industrial Revolution.
ممكن في كمان بس حضرتك كنت قايل الاتنين دول في الأول يعني.
Economical, political, and social. These are the three main factors. Regarding the social problems that happened over there in the 1700s and the 1800s, what you gonna tell me regarding the social factors or the social problems that happened in Europe? Abdurrahman Osama?
When people migrated to cities, there was a surplus of jobs, surplus of people, and there were little jobs. So
Thank you, Abdurrahman. Thank you, Abdurrahman Osama. As a result of the Industrial Revolution, people started to move from their small towns to cities looking for better lives. This is a social problem. People started to move from towns to cities looking for better lives, the social ones. Okay, what about the political issues or the political problems? Ali.
Mr. What is the answer for what developed the sociology?
We are still talking about the answer. The first reason, Ali, the first reason was simply the social problem. The movement of the population from towns to cities. Here is one. Let us have a look here in order to have. Let me share you. I think your lesson will have only 1 minute left. But quickly, as a reminder, let me show you here. the economical problems. As a result of the Industrial Revolution, people started to move from towns to cities looking for better lives. Okay, for the social problems, they started to have to, so all of the population simply moved. So there was some kind of housing shortage. And the number of people looking for jobs simply outpaced or overcome the available jobs. So unemployment, they want to feed their families. The crime ratio increased. And also there were some kind of political changes as a result of that led to the American and to the French revolutions. Of course, the people were seeking their individual liberty. And now we had reached the moment that we're gonna end our session, guys.